Hello fellow simmers and welcome to this video. My name is Siema and thank you for tuning in. Today I'm building a retirement home, something that I've wanted to build for a really long time. And I'm building it in Oasis Springs as a part of a save file that I am currently doing, which is taking forever. But yeah, I really wanted to do a retirement home. And one of the reasons why is that every time I play and my sim age up into elders, I don't really know what to do with them because they've had kids and I'm now playing with them. And the elders are kind of just getting in the way of the storyline sometimes. And I don't really want to move them away to some house that I need to furnish and everything. So I thought that maybe if I built a retirement home, I could just send them there and then I could go visit them and it would kind of fit into some kind of storyline. Yeah, I don't know, maybe you also think this is neat. I thought it was quite a nice idea. Yeah, so this retirement home, it fits around 7 people, I think, and then I also made a room for the person who's keeping it. As I was saying, I'm building it in Oasis Springs, so I wanted it to fit in with the architecture of Oasis Springs. And also I wanted it to look kind of run down, kind of like something that was built in the, I don't know, 70s maybe. A place where it's really cozy. You would want your parents to go there and spend their last days, but still it's not really the high-end place. Maybe I'll also do a version of that in the future, but I thought this was would just be like a modest retirement home. In reality, it's probably a really nice retirement home because like they have their own small apartment, and yeah. But yeah, I wanted it to look a little bit old, but still something that was kept very cozy and yeah, a place you would want to be. Yeah, I made room for 7 elderly sims, and they have their own little room and their own bathroom. But other than that, there is just a common space, which you will see me building in a little bit. But yeah, I made sure that there's room for activities. I think so. I'm only using a few packs actually. I made sure that I didn't use like any stuff packs or I think also any game packs. I'm using a lot of get to work items, and I think I'm also using get together, maybe also city living, but I'm actually not sure. So but there's a lot of skill items that I couldn't include, but I think I managed to get at least some painting, some chests, some woodworking tables, and yeah, there's also gonna be a greenhouse in the garden, which I'm building in a little bit. And here I'm just also building a pond. I thought it would be nice for them to be able to fish. I'm building it out of a swimming pool, as you can see here. And I'm just placing down some rocks to make it look less like a swimming pool and more like a pond. I'm not showing it all here because it took forever to place all the rocks around the pond, but just kind of this is giving you a little bit of an idea about how to do it. Let me know if anyone wants a tutorial on this. I can do that. But yeah, it is a little bit simple. You're just placing around some rocks and plants to make it look like a pond. Yeah, and here I'm just making a small entryway to the garden. I'm also gonna build the greenhouse just here. Yeah, so I thought a nice activity for the Sims would be to go and have a place to garden. So that was my thought behind this. And also I really love building greenhouses. I don't think I've built a house in a while that has not had some kind of garden, and preferably a greenhouse. I think it's just me who like really wants to buy my own house. Yeah, and now moving on to the garden that is behind the retirement home. So I was a little bit unsure about how to do the fencing, but you'll see me in a little bit replacing the hedges with just some like regular, like this kind of wooden fence. You can see that every resident have their own little terrace. I thought that this would be like a really cute small place for them to hang out a little bit alone, but they can also go down into the common garden here. So here I wanted to play something that I really feel like a lot of old people play, which is called petang in Danish. I know it's not functional, but I just really wanted there to be petang. Now I'm moving on to the reception. This won't really be functional, but I thought it would just be kind of nice, something that I think you would see in a regular retirement home. I've only been to one retirement home myself, which was a long time ago, but yeah. So I wanted it to be kind of as I said, I wanted it to look like it was kind of from the 70s, so I didn't want it to be really modern and luxe, but I wanted it to feel kind of old and have maybe some darker wood tones, and but you can see for yourself here. So this is the small kitchen where they can prepare food themselves, but I was also thinking that it might be the person who is keeping the place who would do most of the cooking for them in here. They don't have kitchens in their own rooms, but they do have the small bathrooms. And here I'm doing the dining room, kind of generic. Again, you're seeing these dark wooden tones, not very modern. I think here I'm just keeping it with some classic paintings, some really old looking curtains. And I wanted to keep it just really cozy, some kind of like a bigger version of your grandmother's house. I've added a little bit more personality to some of the rooms. So in here it's just kind of generic, but I try to include some different personalities in the rooms. There is a jazz musician in one of the rooms, and there's just a really kind of classy lady. Maybe she thinks she does not really fit in here, someone who might think that they deserved to be in a kind of a nicer place than this. And I just wanted to keep it a little bit fun in there. This is just the main room where you enter, and maybe it's here you sit down with your family when they're visiting. You have a little bit more space than when you're in your room. I kept it with kind of yellow tones in here, inspired by these sunflowers. Is that what you call them? Sorry, so I'm from Denmark, so excuse my accent and excuse my pronunciation of some words. I don't know why I've never really learned to pronounce English that well. I think I was better when I was younger, but excuse that. Please let me know if something is bothering you. I will try to correct it. And also, this is actually my first voiceover, which is kind of exciting and making me a little bit nervous, but I thought it would be nice to also kind of give a little bit more explanation of my builds. So when I'm building, I'm always having all of these thoughts about the personalities of the people living in the houses, or coming up with backstories. I feel like this is such a normal thing to do in The Sims. Like, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people love it, is that they can just use their imagination to come up with all of these really awesome fantasies. But yeah, I thought when I'm just putting up these builds, I'm not really able to explain what I'm thinking, and maybe this is also okay. But I feel like with these type of builds, like this retirement home, it's not really like it's not the most beautiful build. It's not something where you learn, oh, this is how you make this kind of special roof. But I feel like this is more of a build that has a bit of personality, and for me, I built it to add some gameplay, to be honest. I wanted to have a place where the elders could fit in really nice, and yeah, you could have that experience of going and visiting your grandmother at the retirement home, and maybe you could meet some of her friends there. And yeah, this is something that I cherished in my childhood, going to see my grandmother in her retirement home. So yeah, I thought it would be a really nice feature to add to the game. Yeah, but so that was why I wanted to do this voiceover, just to explain a little bit more about the build. Now that it's not the most beautiful build, but I think it's a really nice idea to have in the game. So here, moving on to the outside again, I can see I also kept the outside a little bit generic, just put some chairs for people to sit in the sun. Again, we have the petang outside, as you can see. It's not functional, but I thought it would be cool. And also, if you have people over, like children, they can build sandcastles in there. And we have 2 chess games and some paintings. And now we're moving on to the first of the 8 bedrooms. So this is a kind of a fun and bright person. Also, again, I kept this red and yellow theme. I thought this was kind of like a really sweet grandpa, maybe, who really loves his, like, getting his grandson over and like watching TV together in the 2 chairs. And maybe he does not have that much family, but yeah, he still has a little bit. And he loves to sit out here on his terrace whenever the weather is good. Yeah, so this one, I was thinking that the lady who lived here is like, maybe she was from a really well-off family, but like through the generations, people have, like, the family has not been able to keep up the same kind of standard of money, and like now they're still well off, but like it's not like she can afford her own house anymore. She has to go to this little bit old retirement home where maybe people are not as fancy as her, but she keeps a lot in her room and likes to look at all of her fancy porcelain pieces in her cabinets. I don't know, I really love coming up with these kind of small stories. This one, I think, was a little bit I don't know if I had that strong of a personality for this one, but this is someone who really likes books. I've included this bookcase and books lying around, and a nice couch where the person can sit and read. Also having kind of the beige and the orange tones going here again. Yeah, sorry, I've cut out a little bit of this material just because the video got so long. So for example, I'm not showing the bedrooms. Oh, sorry, the bathrooms. They are all just the same style. I wanted them also to be kind of generic and looking like they were built in the 70s. Yeah, this room is also quite cute. We have some model cars on a shelf there. There's a small table where you can sit and chat, maybe play some cards with your mates from the retirement home. And also there was a small bear in the corner, maybe for the grandson or granddaughter coming over. I'm also not including in the video just the furnishing of the small terraces, just because it also, like, the video got so long and I didn't really make too much out of them. I just placed some benches out there, a little bit of flowers for them to go around and tend. Yeah, this is now the jazz musicians room coming up. I really enjoyed this one because it's like it's so ugly. It's just really not my style. It's a lot of purple colors and then a little bit of red. Not my favorite combination in furniture, but yeah. Yeah, I wish there was a saxophone or a trumpet or something, but he got a guitar and then a piano on his terrace. I was thinking maybe he could play for all the other citizens. Just they could sit down in the garden and listen to him play. But the video is coming to an end here, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Please subscribe and like if you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!